What if the secret to healthier arteries was waiting for you in a simple bowl of oatmeal? For many of us over 60, arteries tend to lose a bit of their spring. Walls get stiffer, small blood vessels don't dilate as easily, and tiny daily choices add up. The good news, a few inexpensive pantry items added the right way to your morning oats can help support arterial flexibility and blood flow over time. Today, we'll walk through 5 ingredients that turn plain oatmeal into a gentle, heart-friendly ritual and reveal the one surprising pantry gem that deserves the title Secret Ingredient. We'll keep this practical. I'll explain briefly why breakfast matters for artery health, then count down 5 easy additions: cinnamon, extra virgin olive oil, blueberries, ground flax, and finally, the reveal, walnuts. For each, you'll get a sensory image, a plain language how it helps, exact amounts to use, and simple prep tips you can adopt tomorrow. If this sounds helpful, tap like and subscribe so more seniors can find it. Aging and arteries, a quick plain language picture. Over decades, proteins in artery walls change. Sugar can stick to those proteins, called glycation. Inflammation nudges them toward stiffness, and oxidative stress chips away at the lining that helps arteries relax. What we eat each morning matters because breakfast sets the tone for blood sugar swings, levels of antioxidants, and small signals that either calm or excite inflammation. Oatmeal itself is a great base. It supplies soluble fiber, is gentle on blood sugar, and gives us the perfect canvas to layer in specific nutrients that support circulation. Number 5, cinnamon. Picture the warm, slightly sweet dusting that hugs the steam rising from your bowl. Ceylon, true cinnamon, brings polyphenol antioxidants and helps slow the conversion of carbohydrates into sugar after a meal. In plain terms, it reduces the speed and height of blood sugar spikes, which means fewer rogue sugar molecules attaching to proteins in vessel walls. Use 1/2 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon sprinkled on top of your cooked oatmeal. Important safety note, there are 2 common types of cinnamon. Ceylon is the true cinnamon and is gentler for daily use. Cassia cinnamon, sold widely in stores, contains higher levels of a compound called coumarin that can be a concern in large amounts over time. Stick with Ceylon for a daily 1/2 teaspoon habit. A little sensory tip, add it after the oatmeal is cooked so the aroma stays bright. Many people tell us just that cinnamon makes their bowl feel cozy, and when a morning ritual feels good, we're likelier to keep doing it. Number 4, extra virgin olive oil, EVO. It may sound odd to add oil to oatmeal, but imagine a smooth, glossy ribbon poured across the top, like a small blessing of liquid gold. Cold-pressed EVO is rich in polyphenols that help quiet inflammation and support healthy cholesterol patterns. It also acts as a carrier for fat-soluble nutrients, helping the body absorb certain beneficial compounds from nuts and seeds. For seniors, a modest drizzle is best. Aim for about 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon, with 1 teaspoon a good everyday starting point. Important prep tip: add EVO after the oatmeal is cooked and slightly cooled. Avoid heating it to preserve those fragile polyphenols. If you prefer a creamy texture, stir the oil in last so it melts into the porridge. Think of EVO as a gentle helper that increases the meal's nutritional reach without overpowering flavor. Number 3, blueberries. Tiny, jewel-like, and pleasantly tart when fresh or conveniently sweet when frozen, blueberries are loaded with anthocyanins. These are pigments that act as antioxidants and help the endothelium, the inner lining of blood vessels, produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the chemical that tells arteries to relax and widen, improving blood flow. For your oatmeal, use about 1/2 cup of fresh or frozen blueberries. Avoid canned berries and heavy syrup. Frozen fruit often keeps nutrients well and is very convenient. Toss them in near the end so they stay plump, or scatter them on top after cooking. Many people notice small wins like brighter color in the bowl and a lift in morning energy, while anecdotal, these clues encourage consistency. Number 2, ground flax seeds. Picture a tiny golden dust that acts like a groom. Ground flax supplies soluble fiber that binds cholesterol in the gut and helps sweep it away. And it provides ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that supports anti-inflammatory pathways. Whole flax seeds pass through the digestive tract without releasing most of their nutrients, so always use ground flax. The practical dose? 1 tablespoon of freshly ground flax stirred into warm oatmeal. Storage is important. Ground flax oxidizes quickly, so keep the bag or jar in the refrigerator and use within a few weeks. If you buy whole flax, grind what you'll use for a week and keep the rest whole. Think of flax as the broom that helps reduce cholesterol's foothold while also adding a pleasant nutty texture. Number 1, walnuts, the secret ingredient. Imagine crunch, rough, rich, almost buttery, folded through warm oats. Walnuts are the reveal because they combine several heart-supporting elements in one small handful. Omega-3s, ALA, polyphenols, vitamin E, magnesium, and L-arginine, an amino acid that helps the body produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, again, is a key player in letting arteries relax and blood flow more freely. For our purposes, use 4 to 5 walnut halves, coarsely chopped, added after cooking so their oils stay fresh and their texture remains pleasant. Choose unsalted, unsweetened walnuts to avoid excess sodium and added sugar. If you like, lightly toast them in a pan for a minute to heighten aroma, but keep in mind that raw walnuts retain the most delicate oils. Many seniors report small positive changes: warmer hands on cold mornings, steadier energy after breakfast, framed as individual experiences, not guarantees. That's why walnuts earn the secret title. They bring together several small mechanisms that, together, support arterial relaxation and overall vessel health. How these ingredients work together: imagine each one as a different tool in a small workshop. Cinnamon slows the sugar surge that leads to glycation. Ground flax's soluble fiber helps sweep away cholesterol. Blueberries and cinnamon supply antioxidants that shield the artery lining from oxidative stress. Evo acts as a carrier, improving absorption of fat-soluble compounds and calming inflammation. Walnuts bring omega-3 ALA and L-arginine to support nitric oxide production. Combined in a bowl, these ingredients create a synergy. Fiber slows absorption, reducing spikes. Antioxidants reduce inflammation and oxidative damage. And the ALA plus L-arginine pathway nudges the arteries toward relaxation. In research terms, studies suggest that these kinds of dietary shifts can support markers of arterial flexibility and metabolic health. For example, certain trials have reported measurable improvements in insulin sensitivity or small reductions in LDL in some participants. We say suggest and some because individuals vary and diet is only one part of a larger health picture. Practical routine and step-by-step morning options. You can build this into your life quickly or ease in over a couple of weeks. Overnight jar, the make-ahead method. In a jar, combine 1/2 cup rolled oats, 1 tablespoon ground flax, 1/2 teaspoon Ceylon cinnamon, and 4 to 5 chopped walnut halves. Seal and refrigerate. In the morning, stir in 1/2 cup plain yogurt or 1/2 cup milk, dairy or plant, add 1/2 cup blueberries, fresh or defrosted, and finish with 1 teaspoon Evo drizzled on top. Stir and eat cold or heat briefly in a microwave and then add blueberries and Evo after warming. Quick stovetop oatmeal, the warming ritual. Bring 1 cup water or 3/4 cup water plus 1/4 cup milk to a simmer. Stir in 1/2 cup oats and cook 3 to 5 minutes. Off the heat, stir in 1 tablespoon ground flax and 1/2 teaspoon Ceylon cinnamon. Top with 1/2 cup blueberries and 4 to 5 chopped walnut halves. Finish with a 1 teaspoon drizzle of Evo. If you prefer a creamier bowl, use rolled oats or quick oats and consider a splash of milk. If you're watching calories, 1 teaspoon of Evo provides the polyphenols without too many extra calories. A tablespoon adds more richness and more polyphenols if your daily intake allows for it. A few helpful answers to questions we hear often. How often should I eat this oatmeal? Daily is ideal because small habits compound. If daily feels like too much at first, aim for 4 to 5 mornings a week. Studies that look at dietary patterns often show better results with consistent, repeated choices rather than occasional splurges. Can I combine all 5 ingredients at once? Yes, they work well together. Start with cinnamon and blueberries if adding everything feels like a lot, and introduce ground flax and EVO the next week. Add walnuts when you feel comfortable. Gradual introduction helps you notice what changes feel best for you and keeps the habit sustainable. Is morning the only time this helps? Morning is helpful because it sets blood sugar and inflammation tone for the day, but the nutrients in these foods are beneficial at any time. If you prefer a late lunch oatmeal or a savory oat bowl, the same principles apply. Any meal prep tips? Make dry jars of the base, oats, ground flax, cinnamon, chopped walnuts, and add blueberries and EVO fresh each morning. Keep ground flax and walnuts in the refrigerator to prevent rancidity. Buy frozen blueberries for convenience and nutrition retention. Do I need to change my medication or stop prescribed treatments? No, this is not a replacement for medical care. If you take medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, or blood thinners, or have a specific health condition, check with your healthcare provider before making substantial dietary changes. For people on anticoagulants or any medication that affects blood clotting or metabolism, an individualized review by a clinician is important. Any cautions about interactions or safety? Use Ceylon True Cinnamon for daily use at half a teaspoon to reduce potential issues with coumarin and cassia cinnamon. Use ground flax rather than whole flax to access its nutrients, and keep ground flax refrigerated. Choose cold-pressed EVO and add it after heating to preserve polyphenols. Choose unsalted, unsweetened walnuts and store them in the fridge. And always talk with your clinician if you have chronic illness or take prescription medications. Sample 2-week plan to build the habit. Days 1 through 3, start with oats plus half a teaspoon Ceylon cinnamon plus half a cup blueberries. Days 4 through 7, add 1 tablespoon ground flax to the above. Week 2, add 1 teaspoon EVO after cooking. End of week 2, finish with 4 to 5 chopped walnut halves on top. By then, you'll have a full routine that's both simple and powerful in small ways. A few cooking and shopping tips that save time. Buy rolled oats in bulk for cost savings. Keep portions to half a cup dry, about a standard serving. Keep a small jar of pre-chopped walnuts in the fridge for quick topping. Chop them coarsely so they hold texture. Use a little bowl or spoon to measure ground flax daily. Freshness matters more than bulk grinding for many people. If you prefer sweeter oatmeal, add a small amount of mashed banana or a light drizzle of honey, rather than syrupy fruit. Keep added sugars modest to protect blood sugar control. What kind of results can people expect? Different people notice different things. Some seniors tell us they feel steadier energy after breakfast, or their hands warm up a little quicker on cool mornings. Anecdotal signals that blood flow and energy regulation feel better. In research language, studies suggest that diets emphasizing antioxidants, soluble fiber, and omega-3s can support markers of arterial health and metabolic control. Certain trials have reported improvements in insulin sensitivity and modest LDL reductions in some participants. We avoid promising cures or specific timelines because health is personal and depends on many factors, but small, consistent changes like these are a practical way to support vascular health as part of a broader lifestyle. A short troubleshooting guide. If the oatmeal tastes too oily, reduce EVO to 1/2 teaspoon and stir it in thoroughly. If you have digestive sensitivity to flax at first, start with 1 teaspoon ground flax and work up to 1 tablespoon over several days while increasing water intake. If you don't like walnuts, try replacing with a smaller amount of almonds for texture, but walnuts are unique for their ALA content and L-arginine, which is why they're the top pick. If you're watching sodium, choose unsalted walnuts and avoid adding extra salt to the bowl. Storage and freshness pointers. Ground flax, store in the refrigerator and use within a few weeks. If you bake with flax, you can keep whole seeds in your pantry and grind small amounts daily. Walnuts, store in the fridge or freezer to keep oils from going rancid. Bring a small jar to the counter for day-to-day use, but keep the bulk in cold storage. EVO, store away from light and heat. Buy a good quality cold-pressed bottle and use within a few months of opening for the best polyphenol benefits. A final clear safety reminder. This information is educational and intended to support healthy habits, not to diagnose or replace medical treatment. If you have chronic conditions or take prescription medications, please consult your healthcare provider before making substantial changes to your diet or supplement regimen. Do not stop or alter prescribed medications without professional guidance. To recap quickly, cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon Ceylon, tones down sugar spikes. EVO, 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon added after cooking, brings anti-inflammatory polyphenols and helps absorption. Blueberries, 1/2 cup, supply anthocyanins that support nitric oxide. Ground flax, 1 tablespoon, adds soluble fiber and ALA. And walnuts, 4 to 5 halves chopped, are the secret ingredient, a concentrated source of ALA, polyphenols, vitamin E, magnesium, and L-arginine, which together help support arterial relaxation and healthy blood flow. Add these to oatmeal in a way that fits your taste and routine, and remember, small daily choices repeated over weeks and months are where measurable change takes root. Turn your morning bowl into a daily heart care ritual, something to look forward to that respects your time, taste, and health. If this felt useful, share it with a friend or family member who'd benefit, and subscribe for more simple, science-aware tips that help us age with strength and dignity.